Thought questions. Questions you've thought about, but were afraid to ask. Thought question number 3. Where is heaven? Is it in space? Heaven is most certainly a real place. The Bible very definitely speaks of heaven's existence and access to heaven through faith in Jesus Christ. But there are no verses that give us geographical location. The short answer to this question is heaven is where God is. Well, the place referred to in this question is called the third heaven and paradise. In 2 Corinthians chapter 12, 1 through 4, where the Apostle Paul tells of a living man who was caught up to heaven and was unable to describe it. The Greek word translated caught up is also used in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 17, in describing the rapture, wherein believers will be caught up to be with the Lord. Other verses indicating heaven to be above the earth are numerous. At the Tower of Babel, God says, "Come, let us go down." Genesis 11, verse 7. Heaven is described as high above the earth in Psalms 103, verse 11, and the place from which the Lord looks down in Psalm 14, verse 2. Jesus is described as having ascended into heaven and descended from heaven in John chapter 3, verse 13. In Acts chapter 1, verses 9 through 11, Jesus is described as being taken up into heaven. And when God takes John to heaven in Revelations 4:1, he says, "Come up here." These passages have led to the conclusion that heaven is beyond the earth's airspace and beyond the stars. However, since God is a spirit, heaven cannot signify a place remote from which he inhabits. The Greek gods were thought of as spending most of their time far away from the earth in sort of a celestial equivalent of the Bahamas. But the God of the Bible is not like this. He is always near us when we call on him, James 4:8, and we're encouraged to draw near to him, Hebrews chapter 10, verses 1 and 22. Granted, the heaven where saints and angels dwell has to be thought of as a sort of locality because saints and angels, as God's creatures, exist in space and time. But when the Creator is said to be in heaven, the thought is that he exists on a different plane from us rather than in a different place.